Hi, I'm John. I'm going to be replacing my ticking time bomb of a 55-gallon aquarium. The trim is all busted up. Silicone is terrible shape. What we have in here left is some Cryptosteriana, Amazon sword, and some Cryptspiralis. As you can tell, this thing is just absolutely funky. I wasn't able to do a proper gravel vac. When I started pulling out the plants, the water just got extremely cloudy, and it's time for this thing to go. So this is the tank, and we'll take a look at what all I've pulled out of there. Starting over here, well, we have the goldfish. They weren't in there, but these are some of the just baby plants and Crypt Parva that was in there. This is just the kind of miscellaneous tank from this whole project where I had to move things around. Starting out, we have the Crypt Wendetii. This is the regular old Crypt Wendetii. Maybe I can get it under this light here to show you a little better. A lot of people don't like this because they think it looks like it's already dead or something like that, but as you can see, if you have something like a lot of this Java fern in there, it can provide some color contrast and look cool in your aquarium. Regular old Crypt Wendetii. Yeah, light's not very good on that, but that's what we've got going on in this tank here. I've tried to separate these plants by just what types they are in different tanks here. Of course, in this tank we have all of the Java fern. Let's get it back in the light. See if we can see what's going on here. There's tons and tons of Java fern that was in there. Some of the leaves are a bit ratty and need to go. Then we have this huge clump of Java moss that was in there. And as I was taking out all these plants, I started to find some of my pieces of Bucephalandra. A lot of us here just call it Boos. I really like this stuff. Gets a nice sparkly looking leaves. There's a couple different types in here. Then we have a piece of Anubias Nana Petite floating around in here somewhere. There it is. And just a little clump of Anubias Nana Petite. I really like this stuff too. So we got the Wendetii, Java fern, Java moss, the Boos, and the little clump of Anubias Nana Petite. The Cryptosteriana. I believe this was sold to me as Cryptosteriana red. There's really not much red to it besides the stems. The Amazon sword, which I had no idea how big was until I started pulling a lot of these other plants out of there. And the Cryptspiralis. And it looks like there's a little tiny piece of Crypt Parva just kind of hanging out in the back there. A little tiny strand of Java moss. Over here, We have the Vallisneria. 4 days. This is where all of the platies are gonna go while I set up the new tank. It's kind of hard to do because all these tanks are sitting on the ground right now. I originally set up this tank and just thought, yeah, I'll just take my plants and put it in there, and I started realizing how overgrown this tank was. All these plants were crammed into this 55, and you could see why I had problems doing a gravel vac, because all of this stuff just, I mean, that just doesn't even touch it. Tons and tons of Vallisneria. This stuff is just pretty much invasive. Just overgrow everywhere. Over here we have some more crypts. I call this the Cryptoasteriana purple. Like that other stuff was supposed to be Asteriana red, but this here grows more compact and propagates like crazy. I really like it because the actual, you know, purple look that it gets to it, which is kind of rare. A little bit. I think this light's just really not even doing it justice. But let's see if we can get a better look of this plant and what it looks like in the aquarium. This stuff is nice because it stays a little more compact compared to the other Asteriana, and it has that cool purple look to it, and definitely propagates like crazy. I started with a few pieces, and as you can see here, there's a 20 long that's almost filled with it. You should be able to get an idea about why I had such a hard time doing a gravel vac. All these plants were just crammed into that 55. Just tons and tons of them. I love it though. But it was a ticking time bomb waiting to happen, and I'm glad I finally got around to it. This project is almost a week going on here. I ended up having to do it in stages because just the sheer volume of plants, and I didn't want to just kill the fish trying to just bust it all down real quick and slam it back together. So tons of crypts there. And then we have the Crypt Latia here. These are really cool. They have the more narrow leaves, and they kind of get like a tiger stripe type of pattern. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see like this. Maybe I should bring that light over here. It's really cool. As far as crypts go, this one stays pretty compact. Grows out pretty well. Most of these plants are all really easy to grow. There's a sand substrate in this tank, but that's one thing I wouldn't do, is just stick them in the sand. They don't seem to propagate as well. And these here, as it grows out, you can just kind of pull these off here and boom, you got a whole nother plant. This is the Crypt Latia. I guess this whole tank is here. So as you can see, there was just a ton of plants crammed into this 55, ticking time bomb, waiting to go off here. Yeah. In bad shape. That's the Beamswork 48-inch DA120 that I'm running on there. Right now I just have the one Aqua Clear hang on back on there right now. That's going to go on that 30-gallon when I move all the platies. And yeah, there's 3 neon tetras in there. Going to move those over with the platies. Of course, all the Java Fern, Java Moss, and the boost. It's all in this cup right here that I just kind of wrangled up so I can utilize it in the next escape once I get the new tanks set up. The new tank is definitely not going to have any Java Moss or Vallisneria, that's for sure. I probably will be using at least some of these plants in the new scape. Oh, the Wendetti eye. Yeah, kind of hard to see. And that's pretty much it for this video. Just wanted to give you a rundown before the complete breakdown. So I'm going to catch as many of these fish out, hopefully all of them, and then pull the rest of these plants out here. I didn't want to pull that sword out because this water would just get so cloudy I won't even be able to see to catch the fish. So I'll catch the fish out, pull these rest of these plants out, and replace the tank and go from there. After I get the tank set up and the aquascape all done, I'll do another update video, and then I'll probably do a video on the installation and setup of the CO2 here. I got the in-tank bazooka style diffuser here. It has a little bit of algae on it. Come on, focus. So we get that cleaned up a little bit, and then this will be going on the new tank. I had it set up on the old tank a couple months ago, but I just ended up taking it down. I knew this project was coming up, so that's the CO2 Art Elite Regulator, expandable. Hopefully I can order the expansion here within a couple days. And as far as the plants go, whatever I don't use in the new aquascape will be going to the fish room in the basement and the grow out tanks. Once again, I'm John. Thanks for watching.